We're live.
Oh, wait, what happened? Why is Jamie laughing? What did I miss?
I'm the producer. I never start.
Hi guys, welcome to the Thursday night shift where we don't have a plan. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I just didn't hear what you said because Bill's talking on the phone. My dogs are being crazy.
We're proof. We're proof. You don't have to be perfect to be powerful, right?
Oh,
amen. So, yeah, so true. So welcome to Thursday night shift. We are excited for you guys to join us. This has quickly become, I think, our favorite night of the week and the favorite night of many others. And so to start off, we'll just do a quick and easy question. And maybe we'll hear some blasts from the past, but why don't we share our favorite LTO, like the favorite limited time offer that has been released that you loved? Heather hurried and turned off her camera. Just kidding.
No, so, I'm getting text messages. Sorry.
You're fine. I'm just joking. Go ahead.
My favorite LTO. Do I even remember any LTOs ever? Name some of them.
So I will say that one of my very favorites, and Jen actually sent it to me on my birthday. She sent me like 2 bundles of it. I really loved the geode collection, like the one where we had rose quartz and amethyst. And that was one of my very favorite LTOs that we have had in the past. And of course, you guys can drop them in the chat as well.
So I can tell you mine is definitely the cider mill, counter clean, and dish soap. Like, I don't even think I'm going to sell any of the ones that I have because I can't live without them ever again in my whole life.
I don't know that I have a favorite. I really just like almost everything. And cider mill is a really good one. Yeah, I can't think of a favorite LTO. I need to have them in front of me. I'd be like, yeah, I really like that one, or I didn't like that one, but I can't think of a favorite. So that's boring. I'm sorry. Was the very snowy spruce bricks? Was that an LTO at one time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or the other burgundy colored
cranberry garland for you. Cranberry garland.
Yes, I love those. That's my LTO. Thank you. And Melissa's waiting in the waiting room, knocking.
Okay. I hate this waiting room. Mine would probably be the limited edition Christmas over the top warmers, probably the snow globe last year.
Sorry, I was getting to unmute mine. I would think, I'm sitting here thinking it's really, really hard now that we're going through them all. But probably I was surprisingly shocked by the cider mill. I don't know why I was shocked, but I was, but it just like, it's pretty amazing. But I've been so excited about so many of the Disney and Star Wars LTOs, like the light side, dark side scents are in my club. So like we hands down love those. So that might be one. I don't know, that I could probably start going on and on the more we talk about them.
Okay, Melissa, did you get in? Do you want to share your favorite LTO of all time?
LTO of all time is the Aladdin collection. Was that an LTO? I think it was. Aladdin collection. And for all the people that said, there was a ton of people that said, oh, it doesn't last long. It doesn't smell strong. It's not. It is awesome. That's that. So the whole collection's in my club. And pardon my 6-year-old that's mouthing off right now.
All right, so I think I got us all. So tonight we wanted to talk about LTOs because I feel like we have several coming. We have several, Scentsys always come out with new ones. We've got our testers that came, if you've been around for a little while, that came with our SFR kits. We got some testers for those coming collections and different things like that. So that is, we know that more is coming, and Scentsys been doing a lot with limited time offers or LTOs. And so we just felt like maybe sharing some of our tips for that, how we process that, how we take pre-orders, do we take pre-orders, what to say to your customers, how to prep your customers, those types of things. We just had some really awesome launches with the holiday and the harvest collection. They've implemented the queuing system, which was something that we did with today, right? And I feel like that's been going really, really well. And so since it is something we're going to be working with, something we thought we would share. So I will say personally, I love LTOs because I feel like it adds a little bit of a boost. But I think it's also important to point out that all of us that are here started our business without LTOs. We started our business with Scent and Warmer of the Month and the full catalog. And so if a lot of times the complaint I know I hear from my group is, oh my gosh, I'm at work between 9:30 and 10:30, or I can't wake up at 2:30 in the morning and place those orders, right? And guess what? That is okay. And that's one of the things that I really want to point out when it comes to limited time offers is that is all right, because we all built our businesses without ever having that. Another thing that Scentsy has always pointed out when it comes to LTOs is that those are a lot of the times to help us find different niches from even our regular customer base. So when it comes to Star Wars, finding those that love Star Wars. When it comes to Disney, those that love Disney, those that love the villains, right? Like those are all different niches that we can reach out to. NHL, NFL, all of those fun things. So kind of think about that as you see these LTOs that continue to come out over the coming months, that this is to also help you branch out and reach out and kind of look for those referrals in those different areas. Ladies, do one of you have any thoughts as we open it up for limited time offers? No, no one?
Damn it.
Well, Kelly, we kind of we're gonna do open call, and so you're the only one doing LTOs, which I'm dying laughing on here.
I'm okay. Go ahead and take it away.
Hey, but it's still so important because it is. We have tons of LTOs, so it's still good information. Y'all, we are loose in our minds.
It's because it's so busy. Like we really look really unorganized, but I think our brains are so overwhelmed with so much going on. So wow, we really look like a hot mess tonight, but we're not. So I do think we need to cover LTOs, but we also need to do answer important questions that are relevant to what we're all facing right now. So to go on what Kelly was saying with LTOs, I know something that comes up a lot in my team and group is the confusion around pre-orders, because sometimes, and it's kind of new, Scentsy's offering pre-orders like they did with the NFL warmers. So when Scentsy's offering a pre-order versus the villain collection that's coming out and we're taking pre-orders, those are two different situations and they need to be handled differently. So you need to be aware of the LTO that's coming out, whether it's a Scentsy pre-order item, and if it is, that's done via generally how I do it is through the customer goes to my website and they create an account. They, put their email in, they set up a password, all of the things. Then they're notified via that email that they joined with when they can go on and complete that particular pre-order. They pay a portion up front. That portion is applied to their balance. The balance is due when the pre-order can be finished out, when Scentsy actually launches the pre-order product. So there's that portion of pre-orders. But if Scentsy's not offering a pre-order and you want to do a pre-order yourself, there are some tips and tricks that we've learned along the way to do that. And I think we all do them a little bit differently. For me, I'm a pen and paper kind of girl. And so I actually keep them in my notebook and I will write down, who wants what. I will send them their total 1 to 2 days before the actual launch of that LTO, and they will Venmo me. And I do that so that I can get in and use one credit card and get out. Generally speaking, if it's many pre-orders that I've collected, I will actually go into my workstation. I will already have all of my customers' names in there. And sometimes I'll even put in dummy product so that my host credit is already there and I can pre-select that basically. I hope you follow along with that, right? So let's say I have a $500 pre-order. I will put in $500 worth of fake products under one name. So I can do all my host rewards, and then I delete all that product and I put the actual product in at that time and I pay with one card and I'm out. And that's as easy as that. If it's a small pre-order, I only have 1 or 2 customers, I will do it through my PWS and I make sure I attach it to the appropriate party. But that's all there is to pre-orders. It's not, I think some people thought it was a little bit more complicated than that. You can use a Jot form, you can use a Google Doc, you can do it however you want, or you can just do a pen and paper like I do. So that's my biggest tip with an LTO. And I don't make promises. I let my customers know I'm going to do my best to get this for you, but this is a limited time offering. So if they don't pay me or they're taking their time with things, they know that their chances of getting it are very slim, but they also know that I cannot guarantee that I'm going to get that product. I will do my best. If it means getting up in the middle of the night, then I will do that. And if you take pre-orders and you can't get it, you need to be able to refund that money immediately, you guys. Do not sit on people's cash or credit cards or whatever that is. Like, don't take their money via Venmo or Cash App or any of those other things and then not return it immediately. You can get in some big trouble for that. So those are my tips when it comes to LTOs. And Callie mentioned in the beginning of the call, you know, some of you can't get up in the middle of the night or you're at work. And while they're, you know, there's an element to that that's kind of stinks. I don't know. There's no really great way around that other than having your customers go and do it themselves. Let them know what time it's going to launch, provide them the party link and say, this is what time it's going to be available. You get out and do it. And that way you're not accepting any of the responsibility if it does sell out very quickly.
Yeah, Jody, that's exactly what I was going to say. With the not over promising and under delivering. So just be really careful. And if you are taking the money via Venmo or Cash App, you need to take that in advance enough to where, depending on who your bank is, it takes some time to transfer that from your Venmo or PayPal into your checking account if you're relying on those funds to process that order. So just be aware of that as well.
Another tip, I'm sorry, Jen. I just thought of it really quick. Another thing that I wish I'd learned a long time ago, if you have the ability to do this, this is a great idea, to put it on, if you're having people Venmo you, put it on a card where you're going to earn points. And then just when you get all that money, pay it off. I mean, like, hello, 12 years in and I'm just now learning this. Not learning it, finally doing it, applying it, I should say. So I can redeem flights and all the other good stuff that comes with credit card points. And I'm sorry, Jen, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I am by far the least tech savvy person of our whole group, by far, like no questions asked. And I was taught recently by Rachel Pence, well, she suggested that I learn, I should say, how to set up a JOT form, JOTFORM. All I did, guys, is I went to YouTube and I searched. So anytime you want to learn how to make something like a JOT form or a Google form or something like that, go to YouTube and I searched how to create a JOT form. And now I use that for all of my, for any like releases, anything that's coming up that I want to know if people want it. And I tell them the same thing. There's a big sign that says, I will do my best to try to get this for you, period. And then they fill it all out. And of course, that also gives me the opportunity to say, how interested are you in having a party? 0 to 10, I have them choose 0 to 10. I don't have them choose yes or no, because I want to know if they even have a 1 bit of, possibility. And how interested are you in learning a little bit more about the business opportunity 0 to 10? So that I always add that onto every single one of my pages. And the difference with JOT form is that they can actually pay you on the form. So again, YouTube is your best friend. If you have any interest in learning that, just go to YouTube. It's all right there. And it's so much easier than one of us trying to explain it to you, or one of them, I should say. I'm not the person you're going to call, but that way you can hit pause and play and learn it as you go. So I love YouTube to learn any of those kinds of things, that if you're taking notes and you're writing down all the things that they're dropping, take your notes and then go to YouTube and figure them out.
The other thing I was just going to say is just don't be afraid to offer the limited time offer, because I probably did that when things were still, before we especially got this amazing queue system. But don't be afraid to offer it, because even if they don't get on it right then, it opens up a conversation of what you learned, what their likes are. Maybe they missed out, maybe they, whatever, it still is, like Jen said, you're able to have a conversation about a party, join, or you're at least in the know of what your customer may want. So for future LTOs. So don't sit on it thinking it's going to be too hard or it's not attainable. Like, it can definitely boost your sales and open conversations with your customers.
One last thing, and then we can kind of go over whatever questions you guys have regarding LTOs or any question at all. And the reason we're doing kind of an open mic night instead of having a specific topic is we know this time of year is really, really busy for everyone. And so we didn't want to just hone in on one specific topic that maybe is not relevant to what's going on in your life or business right now. And this way it gives you the opportunity to say, I'm struggling with this, or I'm not really sure I understand this fully. So, start, look at the chat right now and start typing in your questions. And don't be afraid to ask your questions. Don't send them to us privately, put them in the chat, because again, if you're thinking it, someone else is probably also thinking it. And we'll do our best to answer them all. And I totally forgot what the last thing I was going to say about that. Oh, LTOs. If you're afraid of offering them because you fear that you're not gonna be able to get them, or you fear you won't wake up in time, or you're going to be at work and you'll miss them, like I said earlier, have your customers do it. And be honest. I always preach to be honest with your customer. Say, the best way to get this, I know how much you want it, is to use this link between 9:30 and 10:30. This will go live. And when you give them the link, I go to jodyfarmer.com, and then I usually go to collections. So if you click on the tab that says collection, it changes your URL. And when they click on it, it will take them directly to that specific tab. And all they'll have to do is find the collection they're looking for, and it will take them right to that product. So those are my tips. Let's get to the questions. What do we got? Anything good, guys? Is there a way?
I did see a question. Does Jotform charge you to take payments? Jen, do you know? No. She said
I don't think you can take payment through Jotform.
Yeah. Well, you can.
Yeah,
It'll give you the PayPal or Venmo link.
Yeah, that's how so it gives you the link. Yeah, I have no idea if I pay, to be honest, so I shouldn't say the answer to that.
I never have checked. I mean, I assume usually they do, but I actually have never checked.
I mean, I guess it would just be the same as what you pay for PayPal.
Right.
Okay, so
guys, sorry. I just wanted to add something on. It's Ross.
Hi.
Hey, to what JP just said about the LTOs. And just remember that some LTO products do come back as well. So, if your customer miss out on the initial launch or whatever, it's always good to kind of write down their names anyway, because when they do come back, then you'll be the first one to know, hey, just so you know, I know you missed out on XYZ or X, Y, and Z, but it's now back, or it will be back next week, or it will be back whenever that date is. And then the customer will be happy. Like, for example, with the Jack Skellington warmer last year, that's, I had a list of people that missed out on it. Again, initially, they were not mad because I was able to be honest with them and say, hey, I'm going to do my best. It's the new big thing. So we don't know how many Scentsy has in stock. I'm trying my best, all the stuff that's been said so far. But then when I found out that it came back this year, guess what I did? I looked at my list and I was able to get quite a few of them for my customer. They were super happy because Halloween, it doesn't go anywhere, right? It comes back every year. So that's like my tip.
Well, thank you. So I did want to answer, I think it was Shauna that asked about the buddies. I see you got the answer. Yes, it is still available. The easiest way for you to find that out is to go to your PWS and check. Your PWS is a wealth of information. I'm not talking workstation. I am talking about your PWS. Like, people will say, well, what's the ingredient in, this washer whiff, or what does this smell like? If you go to your PWS and click on it, just like you would in Amazon, if you want the description of something online, you go to the place, you click on the item, it gives you the description. Your PWS will do the same for you. So that's the easiest way to find that, Shauna. And yes, it is still available.
That is, Jody, you're so right. That's the fastest way to find out any information. I did it tonight because I wanted to see which NHL warmers sold out.
Yep.
And the fastest way to do it was I went to my own PWS and went to the collection for NHL and scrolled down. And that just saved me from having to dig, see if they released anything yet. Yep. As far as official communication. And I was like, forget it. The fastest way to know something on if it's in or not. And I do that when my customers are like, hey, is Cider Mill back in stock? And I'll just go to my PWS super quick, type in Cider Mill and see if it's available. So that is a really quick tip.
I wanted to touch base on Natalie's question, which is up here a little bit. And she's asking basically how to figure out how to have a successful party. Without all of the context, Natalie, I do need to ask, have you watched all of the trainings we've done over the course of the last, I don't know, 5 or 6 months on the Facebook parties? if you haven't had a chance, I highly suggest, recommend, urge, whatever other strong word we can come up with, to do that, because the Facebook parties that we have been implementing, and we've changed the way that they've been done with using Heather's party pack ideas and other ideas that have kind of emerged from that, have changed the course of businesses since April, basically when COVID started. When the face of a party had to look different, we changed it up a little bit. And I mean, Jen had another $1,000 party, Facebook party last night. So again, if you're just sending them a PWS link, it's not really fun. It's not engaging. Your host isn't engaging. She's not, reaching out personally with her friends. And changing just a few of the things that you might be doing could really change the outcome of those parties.
I just want to add on to that. Like, I feel that all of us could probably say, and everybody will probably nod their heads, that every time I do a party, I feel like I end up tweaking something. Like there's something new that I find, or some different way to do something. And so just know that you are going to be developing your own personal style, and just learn from others. There's so many resources out there for you to take advantage of to learn. And I put a little quote in the chat, but it's basically, I don't know is not an excuse in 2020, right? Everything is at your fingertips. If you go to YouTube and search Scentsy party, Scentsy Facebook party, you go to YouTube or Facebook, Scentsy party, Scentsy Facebook party, any of your groups that you're in, you will find so much information to help you be successful.
Well, and we've done on Thursday night shift, which probably are posted in your groups. We did another training on it, and we actually watched Heather do a real live party for another hostess. So we were able to see what she does and how she says it, and how you can just be real, and you don't have to know everything, and you don't have to be perfect. You just have to go out there and have fun. And that was a really great training to check out. Anybody else see any other questions coming in?
So I can give another tip. Like Jody just mentioned, my party's actually up to 1,300. I have to close it out tonight. But, and I had never done an online party prior to COVID. I've been doing home parties since 2008. And I kind of never wanted to do an online party, but thanks to the sample packs, these are super successful. And to be honest, I've been doing at least 3 to 4 parties a week, and my lowest one was 600 PRV. Something that I started, here's the tip that I wanted to give you guys, and I started this last week. I've been taking any stock that I have at home and just going on Google. And I don't know if you guys know, if you search like the name of a buddy, for example, say you have a Woody buddy in your house, you just go on Google and you search Woody PNG, and it gives you a picture of Woody without a background, without anything else in it. And I just copy it and I put it on an Excel spreadsheet. So it's not pretty. It's literally a white piece of paper with the buddies that I happen to have in stock. And then I tell my party, I say, hey, I have some discontinued buddies in stock. If you want to know what they are, just let me know, and I'll send you a message of a picture of everything that I have. Same thing with extra wax that I have. Same thing with extra warmers that I have. So a lot of you, like me, probably, I usually do some events at this time of year. So I have product to sell at events. My events are not happening anymore where I live. So it's super easy. It only took me a short amount of time because it's not pretty. It's literally, like I said, a picture of each thing. But I have a picture of buddies, waxes, warmers, anything that I had extra of ready to go for any party that I do. And I just private message it. So it's totally in compliance. So I just thought I would share that. It's been really nice. And I tell them, I kind of create that sense of urgency. I say, oh my gosh, you guys, it's the first person who wants this Woody, but whatever it is. I only have one of each of these. The first person who asks for anything on this list gets it. So if you want the list, let me know. And then they're all like, well, send it to me, because they're worried that they're going to miss out.
Something that I will add and I scrolled through to see if she was on, is Lynn shared with me, Lynn Lowe, a new service that she found this last week or the last couple weeks. It's called me who.com. So who.com. And it's basically a site that you can go and you create an account. And when you do so, you can take those pictures that Jen just shared, also with the description of anything that you have in stock, and you can kind of upload it to this platform, right? It's private. So the only people that can see it are those that you give the link to. So it's not posting your stock. It's not posting your inventory. You can't take that link and post it anywhere on social media. But what you can do is you could take that link, you could text it out, you could send it in a private message, you could add it. I'm personally going to do that with some of my inventory that I have. I'm going to put that into my customer mailouts so that if they reach out to me, they can go and access that. There's actually buttons on there to claim the item. So if you have inventory from shows and fairs and things like that, that is a tool that you could look into. Again, you, me, who, and as soon as I'm done talking, I'll drop it here in the chat. Or somebody just did, Jill did. But the only thing that's so important that you remember is that you cannot post that link publicly. The second you do that, it's out of compliance, and that's posting your inventory, and that's where we draw the line. But any other way that you send it privately, that would be a great resource to moving maybe some inventory that you have on hand and to add to your parties.
What other questions do we have? My eyes are bad.
I did see a question up, and I can't, what was the name? Somebody had mentioned that they joined, and it was regarding their Shooting Star Award, and they were saying that they got 15 days instead of 20. So honestly, this is one I personally have to kind of follow up on. So because of COVID and the shipping delays, Scentsy did extend that Shooting Star qualification period for to 20 days, but our system is only processing 15 days, or only set up to run 15 days because that's what's coded, right? And we didn't know how long that was going to last. I don't know if any of the other ladies remember or not, if they changed that back to 15, or if you've seen that. Rachel, reach out to your leader or even to me, and we can follow up on that just to make sure. But minimum of 15, strive for 15. And if you have 20, then I don't know, then you have 20, but strive for 15 because that's going to be what it is moving forward.
I'm just reading through the chat. Okay, so Natalie,
and they can even unmute. If y'all have a question, it's just faster to unmute to ask a question. Just go ahead. I think they're not like really all flying in. I thought people would have.
And while we're waiting for questions, can I just add one thing also?
Yeah.
We were talking about the Google form, and we were talking about the Jot form, and a really huge piece of advice for you guys is when somebody orders from you, even if it's an individual order, don't let them just order from you. Have the copy of your Google form, that's your order form, and send it to them and say, it helps me keep organized if you fill this form out real quick. And then you're asking every single person to host or join along with their order. Even if you don't ask anything else, you ask those two questions. So I never let anybody just say, hey, Jen, I need 6 bars of wax. I say, okay, the only way I can stay organized is if you don't mind quickly just filling this out. You can do it right on your phone. And then I get that information from them every time. So just a little tip while we're waiting for people to ask questions.
I think that's great because then you automatically, like if you have it filled in for like their email and their address and stuff, like you could say, sometimes people's addresses change, right? So it's just easier if you fill that out. I have your most recent information and I can make sure I get you exactly what you want.
And it really does keep you organized because you're not chasing order forms all over your house.
Well, and to just add to Jen and Callie's point, as soon as you hit lead consultant, you are showing up in I think in your active the previous month before, or it may just be lead. So you can start showing up on the locator once you're lead consultant, but you have to be active, I think, the month prior. So here's another reason why it's important to collect all of their information. And that's why it's great for these forums to do this. If for some reason someone buys from you and they can't remember your last name, your website, and they go in there and place an order on Scentsy.com, the system will know that they had previously bought from you and they will link it to you for that reason. But you have to have all those fields completely filled in order for them to say, yeah, this is a real customer that ordered, because you have all the info. So never, ever, ever take shortcuts when you're collecting people's information. Phone number, email, mailing address, and their name. It's very, very, very important.
I have a question. It's Yvette. Hey, so when you're doing the LTOs and you can make your list or you can do your form, however you want to do it. So when you're taking those orders, those pre-orders, are you shipping everything to yourself and then you're shipping them out to each individual person?
So for me, it depends on where they live. Yeah. So I have a lot of local customers, but anybody who's not local, I just ask them on the form. I say, do you want me to ship this to you? It's $8 or 10% after 80. or do you want to pick it up on my porch for free? That's how I word it.
Right. So like local customers, I would see going out, maybe delivering it.
Right.
I usually will go out and deliver. So I don't have a problem with that part. It was just more or less, I didn't know how you guys were handling out of state. If you're having
I just direct
everybody out
ship.
of state.
And I will give you guys, A.D. Mitchell told me back in 2008, she said, if you offer people to pick things up on your porch and have just a standing offer that if they pick it up from you, you give them a free cent circle every time. So my customers always know that if they pick it up from me, they get a free cent circle. Or I can deliver it. They know I don't mind delivering it. So that's just another thing that way. Because when you start to have a lot of customers, then it's much easier for you if they pick it up on your porch. Just food for thought.
I have so many out-of-state customers.
Most of mine are out of state. So I make sure that if an LTO pops up, I usually make sure that I have a $500 party already in, and then so that I can quickly order the LTO all at once, I will charge them shipping, but I'm going to get free shipping. So then I use the shipping that they paid with their order to mail out all of their product. So I just plan that ahead of time. I just make sure I'm adding everything to one party. It's 500, whatever it is. And then if I need 10 of one thing, I can quickly go in, charge them shipping, order the 10. I mean, I charge them, I order the 10, they send them to my house, and then I can bag them up, give them freebies, make it look all pretty, and the shipping's covered. So that's another way you can do it. As long as you have that $500 party, it's not going to cost you anything out of pocket.
I wish I had a lot more local. I'm getting there though.
So yeah, me and Jill are the same. A lot of our customers are definitely online, and I do the same thing. Actually, at the bottom of my my forms, I just say, and I'm scrolling to find it exactly, but I have a little checkbox that they have to agree to. And it says, please agree to the following. Sales tax is based on your local tax rate. Shipping is $8 or 10% of your order over 80. And then I have the little stars and I say, I understand that that tax and shipping will be applied to my order. So I flat out let them know that is going to be there and they're agreeing to it. So they actually have to click the box as a required item.
Just for the people who order, locally, what I like to do, and a lot of you probably do it too, but I'll deliver because I'll tack it on to I live a half an hour from like any store or anything like that. So I'll tack it on anytime I go grocery shopping or go to, anywhere, take the kids to Boy Scouts or anything, and I'll tack it on. So then I can write it off on my taxes.
All right, what else do we have here?
So Jill and Callie, for you don't do direct ship. You have if it's like Jill, if it's 500, you have everything sent to you.
Yeah,
and then you mail it out.
Well, that's what I mean. Like different it depends on the LTO. Like if I know that I have a party in there and I have 10 of one thing, because here's the thing, if I know it's going to go fast, I definitely don't want to go in there and be putting individual orders for every single person and taking stuff out and adding that. I mean, and everyone can do it different. If you can get in there and add product and then take it out and put the LTO in there and do all that, if it's 3 a.m, that's not happening for me, like not happening. So I just make sure I have that party ready and I just order the 10 or the 12 or whatever I need. I charge them shipping. They all come to my house. I didn't pay for shipping, right? And then I use the money that they paid for shipping to actually ship it out because they're just Venmoing me or PayPaling me. So the money's in my account and then I can bag it up pretty. I let them know it's a couple extra days because I'm going to get it first, make it pretty. They like it because I say, listen, the benefit of me getting it is you're going to get a bunch of little freebies in there and a new catalog and all kinds of fun stuff. So they're fine with it. It's just communicating that to them. If it's something where I don't have a party in and it's a bunch of random people wanting a bunch of different stuff, I usually say, it depends on the person. Like I say, here's the link, be ready. If you want me to order it for you, I can, but with the same stipulation, I might not get it because I have to put these in individually. So it just depends on the LTO. It depends on the party that I have. It depends how many orders I have. It just depends. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm exactly
Okay.
the same.
Thank
9
you.
times out of 10, I am, I just add them to an order and I have them all shipped to me. Or if it depends, it's like the LTO, depends on the LTO, just depends. But just know that if it comes to you, you get to add that little extra touch and those little kisses that I think make us at Scentsy very special. I've ordered from a lot of different direct sales companies or multi-level marketing. And I feel like Scentsy is one of those companies that really, we give more than we take. We live that little motto that we have that Orville talked about so long ago. And so I love adding those little kisses and spoiling my customers. And I know that they do. So if I have that opportunity, then I definitely take it. Does anybody else have some questions?
I actually have one question that I'm running into a lot lately. I have a lot of customers who have done parties lately for other companies, and they're having them spam their customers. They're saying, oh, add 140, 150 people to the party. And they're saying, well, I don't want to bother people like that, and this, that, and the third. And I try to explain that that's not what I want them to do, but they're just not grasping it because now they're being trained. Okay, I need to add 140, 150 people, and I cannot get my customers to grasp, I don't want you to do that. They're just completely ignoring it, inviting the same 140, 150 people, and then the party's just not working out for them. Any advice at all would be appreciated.
I can give you some. Logan, I would tell you that I would have specific instructions that my parties, that they are very exclusive to the number of people, and that I have 15 party packs to send out, and you can have a maximum of 15 people. So pick your people carefully.
I would also add to that, I actually make it so that I have to approve every single person that is added into a party group. And if my host just randomly adds people, I deny them all. And then I go back to them and I say, hey, remember, we are different at Scentsy, and that is not something we like to do. I personally hate to be spammed. And so that's why we really like to focus on privately inviting and allowing them to join themselves. Not only that, your party will be more successful because if they're requesting to join, that tells Facebook that they're interested in that group and not just being randomly added. And so that's kind of a way to reiterate and saying, don't do that here at Scentsy. We are very different from any party you've done. And I actually won't approve them if you just mass add.
I have to add that to that as well. I let my host know as soon as we book the party before I do anything, what our plan is. Like, we're going to do X, Y, and Z. Once I get your group set up, I want you to personally invite people, but I'll be in touch with you before that happens. So I set the group up, but I don't even invite the host yet. So there's nobody in that group. And then I have a pre-recorded video message that I send to the host and say, hey girl, like, it's super generic. Just want to let you know that your party's up and ready to go. And then it has instructions in there on how to invite people. Then and only then will I even allow the host in. And I let them know basically the same thing that the other girls told you. Like, if you want a successful party, you don't want to just add people, because how many of you have ever been added to a group and you're like, I didn't want to be in here. And even if I want that product, I'm kind of like annoyed and put on the defense, like, you didn't even ask me, like, you just want my money, right? So they need to understand that, like, they need to treat their friends like they'd want to be treated. Like, if you invite me to a party, I'll probably join your party, but if you add me, I'm out. I'm just going to leave your group. I'm going to leave your message. I'm a little annoyed that you didn't have the decency to personally ask me. So, I think that if you coach beforehand a little bit, let them know, hey, this is what to expect. And then you send a video or, text or whatever it might be, or phone call saying, okay, group's open. I'm going to add you. Make sure you personally invite people, because you want the ones that want to be in there, and make sure you engage with your friends, because they're there for you. They're not there for me. So that's the best advice I think that we've all kind of lived by.
I would say too is, I don't even know how to word it, is hold the reins. You know what I mean? Don't let your host kind of determine the rules of how you want this to go, because you're so caught up in, oh my God, I have a host and I want to let her do whatever she wants. You have to make the rules of the party, because if you don't, then that's when they start going, well, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. No, here's how we do it. And you have to say it with kind of conviction and confidence. Like, I'm going to set up your group. You get to pick 15 people or pick your number. Like, I think like Jody said, or I think Heather said, like, you determine how many people you want in there. You get to pick 20 of your closest friends and family that you know would love fragrance. So pick wisely, pick, because we'd rather have 15 super engaged people than 100 people that are just annoyed that you dropped them into some group and they don't even know why they're in there. So hold the reins, tell them step 1 is I'm going to set up your group. Step 2, I'm going to send you this video. Step 3, you're going to add 15 people. That's it. No more. And I know that's scary kind of as a consultant because you feel like more is better, but that is not the case at all. You will find that you will have less success in your parties when there's a lot more people because you can't roll out the red carpet as well to 50 people or 100 people that you can to 20 and really get to know them and take personal care of them and message them on Facebook and talk to them and make sure they love everything. That's what's going to set you apart than just being dropped in these Facebook groups and them not knowing who you are.
And I second what Jill said, because it's much easier. Like I've had several Facebook parties, new hostesses. So I didn't know the hostess nor did I know their friends. So if it's really, really large, I don't have time to message 60 people through times 6, right? But with a smaller group, I can. But I can tell you, after doing this for many years, you are going to get repeat hostesses. And so you're going to learn like, okay, this hostess is okay to add a few more people because her people are always engaged. The hostess is super engaged. Like I had a rule when we did home parties. I did not do home parties on Sundays, with the exception of a few corrections officers and nurses that were repeat hostesses, because I knew those really were their days off and those people would show up. But if anybody else that I didn't know wanted to party on a Sunday, absolutely not. That is my day. So you will learn along the way, like, okay, she might be able to add more because this is her 3rd one, but keep it small so you can really get to know these people and gain more customers and more hostesses that way. Anybody else have anything they want to add?
I was just going to amen everything that you said. Make sure you're communicating with your hostess.
Yeah.
I have a party I have done it exactly the same way I've done every other one, and it's not quite as hopping as the other ones have been. And so I just had a communication with her. We talked about if she was collecting local orders. We talked about when her payday at work was. Maybe we need to so we've left it open, and we're going to kind of been doing some popping in live, some quick little tidbits, sharing them, reminding them. And I also knew to back off a little bit because we wanted to wait till a certain payday for her. So just kind of keeping the lines of communication open with your hostess and making sure that she's communicating on your post. I always say, I can share it. They know I'm passionate about it, but they want to hear what you like. So that would be the only other thing. Just keep the lines of communication open with your hostess and make sure that she's kind of in the corner with you, helping you with the post and maybe sharing her favorites. Even if all she does is comment like a little, like, love this, or a little picture or something underneath, it just helps to create engagement on the page.
Okay, I have 2 questions. First one is on the Google Docs. Are you all saying that instead of a sales ticket, you're having them fill out a Google Doc instead? And then the second question is, how many social medias are you out there on?
Well, the Google Doc can be your order form. It's kind of the same thing, but you're on an order form, you're not getting those crucial questions, right? Like, would you like to book a party, or would you want to think about joining my team? So you can use that as your order form. It's 6 to 1, half dozen, but I like the Jot forms or Google forms, because you can ask those questions and you can keep those as your leads to go back and book their parties or add to your VIP group or all of that. But so it's not, some people fill out the Google form and then they like to write it down on an order form as well. So it just depends what you want to do to keep track of everything.
So on my parties, I'll do the Google form ahead of time. So I'm getting all their information up front, and that's how I'm guaranteeing and choosing that they get one of my sample party packs, is they have to fill out the Google form that has all their info, key questions where I can follow up. Then at the time of my live, I do 30-minute lives, and then I will take their orders either and write it on an order form, or they place the order on my PWS. So I do both just with my system. And I'm technically 100% all on one social media on Facebook, and I really try hard to be on Instagram, and I'm getting better with my 1 or 2 stories a month.
Social media. I mean, in the beginning, I mean, I feel like your Facebook is kind of the best place to control, like not control, but engage with your team, your customers and your VIP group to a certain extent. Yet a lot of my customers are on my Instagram stories to see unboxings and fragrance things and all of that stuff. Instagram, I think for consultants is one of the best places you can be because you don't have to put a lot of thought into it. You can show your real you. You can share things that are unique to you outside of Scentsy so that you can connect with more people that you may not know. I feel like Facebook is the place where you're hanging out with the people you already know, because it's really hard to get a business page active when you're in this type of business to meet new people. But Instagram allows you to show behind the scenes, show what you like to do in your spare time, show the things that you love, show your family. But you have to be consistent with it, and you can't have it be 90% Scentsy and 10% everything else. It needs to be 10% Scentsy and then 90% everything else so that people have a chance to connect with you. I mean, I think if you're just starting out, those are the two best places to be, but you can also be where you love. If you love to edit video and you love to do how-tos, then YouTube is your place. You know, if you like to do Snapchat, if your customers and people are over there, then do that. But I feel like you have to do it. You just have to be consistent and all in whatever you do. Teaching social media for so many years, I was trying to be everywhere, which ended up having me be nowhere, if that makes sense. Like I was just dabbling in all the different places until I just stopped it and dove 150% into live streaming, which turned into more Instagram live and really diving into all that Instagram has to offer. And I can't suggest that enough to all of you, because you don't have to edit video. You can just have fun with it. You can wake up in the morning and say hi to your followers. You can do unboxings. You can talk to your VIPs on there. You can tag your team when you send gifts. You can tag your customers. Like it can really be interactive, but you have to be consistent with it, because no platform is going to work at all if you're not consistent every day, showing up and kind of being vulnerable and showing different parts of your life, because that's what people are going to connect with. They don't want to be sold to. They want to get value from you, and you need to make your social media about what you can do for them, not what they can do for you. Meaning, I have something for sale, join my team. I have something for sale, join my team, which that's what a lot of consultants do. It has to be about, hey, you know, like, here's a tip of this, and here's how you clean this. And hey, you know, here's the food that I'm eating tonight on this diet plan. Like you have to kind of make it all about your world, not just the Scentsy world, because people will tune you out. They just don't want to be sold to. They're actually picking you before they pick the product, if that makes sense. And they can't pick you if you don't show up, because they're going to tune out the products you're selling. You have to show your face. You have to get on there. You have to be their friend, not their salesperson. So just some tips about that.
So it's like Twitter, only with visual.
Kind of. Twitter's more like what's going on now in the world everywhere, and everybody's talking about it. Instagram is your little corner of the world where you get to talk back and forth about value you can provide, tips, tricks, ideas, inspiration, quotes, how-tos, all of the stuff. And then your community decides, hey, I like this person. I like what they're talking about. I'm going to dive into that corner of the world with them. And then you're talking back and forth about those things, if that makes sense. So Twitter's kind of global. You know, I feel like Twitter's like, you know, hey, the celebrity just passed away, or hey, it's a lot of politics and argue. Like, I feel like Twitter's a big whole argument in itself. Yeah. But Instagram, it allows you to have one little corner of the internet, and it can be your dogs, your crafting, your popcorn, right, Melissa? It can be like about anything you want it to be. And then if you show up consistently, people can go, hey, I like crafting too. I like popcorn too. I like dachshunds too. Let's talk about it. And then when you get them to talk about it, then they're like, hey, what's that Scentsy thing? What is that again? Because you started talking about other things. But what consultants do is they say, hey, I just started a Scentsy business. I'm going to get on Instagram and I'm going to post all about Scentsy. And people are like, you don't give them a chance to connect with you on anything else. And so then they tune you out and they don't follow you. And I see it time and time again. Like I go to someone's feed and it's all Scentsy posts. And you really need to make it about your life and connectors to other people and engaging with other people so that they choose you first. And then Scentsy will come with that.
Well, and here's a perfect example on the flip side. I had posted some of our Halloween decor on Instagram, and I made sure to use popular Halloween hashtags. And somebody found me, but because she's not a friend of mine, she's not somebody that I follow, she found me via one of those hashtags and commented on my decor. So I clicked on her, went to her profile, not her profile, her Instagram feed, and saw that she makes these really cool pillows. And I want to order from her, and I told my friend about it who wants to order. So on the flip side of things, from the consumer, this is exactly what we want people to do, is exactly what I just did. I went to learn more about her. I saw that she makes these pillows where it's the same pillow, but the panel for the season buttons to the front of the pillow. And I'm like, well, that's genius, because, and then you just store, see, I'm giving a commercial for this woman's pillows, all because she's doing exactly what Jill is talking about doing for you. You have to connect with people. So when Jill mentioned popcorn, I talked to her today because I was so proud when I said I found, I make gourmet popcorn, little did you know, and I'm going to start featuring all of the different ways that I make the popcorn. So I told Jill, I said, I did a little bit of research today. I typed in hashtags for popcorn to see all of the top trending popcorn hashtags so that I can include those in my posts. I said, so I'm getting the hang of this social media connecting network thing. Is that just like I went and looked at the woman's post who commented on my Halloween decor, she did exactly what we are telling everybody and what we tell ourselves to do. I'm trying to connect with people outside of the Scentsy world, just in real life. People, like Jill said, you have to find something that links you to other people. So I'm going to reach out. I'm going to connect with popcorn people. I'm going to connect with, but you never know where it'll lead you, right? How many cool things do you stumble upon on social media, whether it be TikTok, Instagram? With the things that we're buying, you guys, are not because we're seeing commercials on TV. We're buying things because they're coming up in our news feeds. I just bought the prep deck, for crying out loud, because I'm so tired of wanting that thing that finally yesterday on Prime Day, and I was like, I'm buying it. But that prep deck, it's been showing up in my Facebook news feed for months. And that's why I bought it. So like, we're not buying things because we're physically going into a store buying it. We're not buying it because we're necessarily catalog shopping. We're buying it because it's in front of our face. We're totally impulse shoppers now. And if we are, others are too. So we have a really good, a high probability of being able to get people to purchase right away from us if we're connecting with them on some level. But like Jill said, it can't just be all Scentsy, because you can get Scentsy from anybody. Any of our customers can buy Scentsy from any of us on here. But what is it that sets me apart that makes them want to buy it from me? What is it that I do? Is it the way that I make them feel? Is it the way I package their orders and go just a little step above? Is it the way that we connect over our dogs or popcorn or Halloween decor or throw pillows? That's why they're buying from me and not coming to you, is because there's something else I've given them to connect with me over. It could be Toy Story after my live last night. I've gotten plenty of messages from other women that are connecting with me because their son loved Toy Story 2. Toy Story also, not just Toy Story 2. But so it's about being a well-rounded consultant. Scentsy is just part of you. It's just part of who you are. It's part of what you're good at. So share everything with people, not just one thing, because they want the whole you, right? Because any of us can post a stock photo from the workstation, and I will tell you that other than drumming up excitement maybe with your current customers, you posting a stock image is not doing anything for casting your net out and reaching new people. So
people are most likely to buy from you because first they decide, this person talked to me. Like, I think a big problem when people ask me, like, what am I doing wrong on their social media accounts? It's that we get so caught up in what to post, what we should post, what we're going to cast out there, instead of going to other accounts of the people that we have things in common with. And I told Melissa today, make it a rule to do 3, 2, 1, is 3 likes on someone's account, 2 comments, and then usually 1 direct message. And I spend more time engaging with people. It's just like you would do in real life. You know, you have to take the time to talk to people. And a lot of people aren't going to feel anything by a stock photo. They're going to feel something when you start talking to them in the comments and in the DMs of, you know, oh my God, your office is so cool. What is that? Where did you get that contraption? Or, oh my God, I love that wallpaper. Who did you get it from again? Like, go through and look up the hashtags of things that are unique to you, because those are your connectors. And just like, I think I follow the same lady with the pillows, or other people make them, because I think I've talked to her as well. But you don't start talking to people on Instagram about Scentsy. You start talking about everything else. And then once they decide, hey, this person's pretty cool, what do you do again? And you know, the people that are doing it right, you should have to try to figure out, like, every picture of mine, Scentsy's usually in the picture one way or the other, but the value I'm giving is not just about, oh my God, I love this room spray, or, oh my God, this warmer just came in, or, oh, you should join my team because it's fabulous for me. People don't care that it's changed your life. They want to know how it's going to change theirs.
Yes.
So you have to remember that, like, how can you help them in their life on every single post? What is this providing for people? And not just like, well, it's a cute buddy. Okay, great. But like, what's the value? Will your child have has your child had less anxiety at night because she's got 42 buddies around her? Like, you know, things like that. Like, what is the value in each post, instead of just selling? This is great. Do you want one too? Join my team because it's done amazing for me. What is it going to do for them? What value can you provide them in each and every post, in each and every comment, in each and every conversation that you have with people? Then it gets quiet.
So wait, no, I wanted to say something, but I was entering a credit card number. We're always working, right? So I'm new to Instagram, thanks to Jill and Callie. And I think probably very similar to what most of you, what the heck am I going to share that anyone's going to want to follow, right? I still struggle with it, but I'm going to tell you what does get me some attention on Instagram, and it's dogs. Okay. I like dogs. I got a few. I got the new puppy. I get more interaction from people I have no idea who they are, because I'm hashtagging French Bulldogs. French Bulldogs are popular and people like them. I haven't gotten any business from it yet, but it's not just about that, right? But I can tell you that I've talked to quite a few new people, like Melissa did. Somebody, you know, commented or sent her a message, and she went to that person's page. And I've got this couple, it's a husband and wife in Germany, who I don't know why, but I'm like so interested in what they do and where they're going camping and what their dogs are doing, and you know, what their motorcycle looks like. Like, I'm all about their life. And so we have chatted back and forth. So there's a level of like this relationship that's building because I hashtag a French Bulldog. So even if, and Jill has really tried to hammer this into my head, I think I'm boring. Like, what am I gonna put on Instagram that's fun? Well, my freaking dog is pretty damn cute. People like him. So I'm gonna put him on there. And you know, there's not a whole lot of Scentsy in my feed, but it'll be on my story. But it won't be the only thing in my story. I like quotes, they're in my story. My kids ride motocross, those are in there. So different things. So if you're a mom and you're a stay-at-home mom, I used to be a stay-at-home mom of 4 kids, there is a lot to talk about. There really is. Whether you think there is or there isn't, other stay-at-home moms want to talk about what you're doing all day long so that they don't feel like they're alone. Trust me, if you're into crafts, there's a place for that. She sheds. I'm thinking about building a she shed. Holy hashtags for that. So there are stuff out there, guys. Do like Melissa said, she researched some hashtags for popcorn. It's the same thing. Crafting, stay-at-home moms, Toy Story, movies, Disney, whatever. There's something for you. And that's how you start to build. And yeah, I don't shop anymore on anything other really than Instagram. So there's that.
And when you show up in your stories consistently every single day, so IGTV is when you have a video that's longer than 10 minutes. You can turn long IG stories into IGTV, but stories are just the top where you see those 15-second snippets. And that's key too. Like a lot of things that I see people doing that aren't working is they disappear for days and then they hop on and say, oh, look at this new warmer we have and look at this and look at my holiday stuff. And then it's all Scentsy again. Like for this to work, you really have to show up every single day and be vulnerable. And you've got to show your hot mess, and you've got to show days you're put together, and you've got to show, a little bit of everything. I mean, last week or I think I was off for like 4 days, just posting barely anything. And when it's starting to work because people will say, where have you been? Or I haven't seen your face, or I haven't been on there. And you don't necessarily have to show your face every day if you're still working up, getting used to video, but you can post things that you're doing, things that you're working on, labels you're making, organize your office, walking the dog, getting your steps in, drinking the water. Like there's a million things. I mean, all of the connectors that I have, if you go to my account, you'll see all the different highlights. I know Callie does a lot of her recipes and keto stuff in there. People do crafting. My dogs are in there, my Target trips, my Walmart finds, like everything. And you all have something to share. You all have something that one of us doesn't know something about, whether you have a find at Walmart, whether you found a deal online. Amazon Prime Day was 2 days ago. And even though every blogger in the whole wide world posted everything at midnight, I was posting all of the things that I bought on Amazon that were on sale for people. You build a community, but you have to show up so that people can decide, yes, I want to follow this person. And you can't just not show up and then go, oh, I have Scentsy to sell. I'm here. Follow me. That's not going to work. You've got to kind of show everything. Yeah, Christina, people love chickens. I mean, Rachel shows her farm and eggs and chickens and all of the stuff, that wouldn't be on my feed. So I follow her because I want to see the chickens following her and I want to see her cute little kids. Like, and you don't have to follow every Scentsy consultant. Remember, you want to engage with people that aren't already consultants. So follow the few that are providing you value, that you want to see what they're doing and things that they're working on. But you need to spend your time talking to new people, because a lot of times what we'll do is follow every single Scentsy consultant and they follow you back. And then in your whole entire feed is all Scentsy people. That's not valuable for you. And then you find yourself comparing, wasting your time following feeds that aren't providing you any value, or, wasting your time. Your time is valuable. So you want to talk to people that aren't doing Scentsy so that you can hopefully make them a customer or talk about booking a party. That's what it all comes down to. But you've got to build that relationship up first. You can't just start your feed with all Scentsy and marketing flyers. You've got to kind of hit them in the heart. And the only way they're going to do that, the only way that's going to happen is if you get to know them by showing your face, showing your home, showing, everything about you, and not saying, well, I'll do it when I have a better office, or I'll do it when the boxes aren't piled up in the corner, or I'll do it when my kids are in school. You just got to turn the camera on and do it.
Amen, Jill. Amen. We
are at the top of the hour, but yeah. I just want to add real quick. I saw Sarah's comment about what do you suggest for someone like me who has anxiety? And I think that that's important, because I think a lot of the times we're all there's a lot of people that have that personality that they're afraid to get in front of the camera. They're afraid to show their face. They're afraid to, pop on without having your makeup done, or whatever that looks like. I can say that I know several of us leaders, we struggle from anxiety, depression, different issues that many other people struggle with. And just know that the more you do it, the easier it'll get. That's why Jill always says at the beginning of these calls, show your face, turn on your camera, show your face, turn your camera. She didn't do it tonight, but every other night she has done it. And that's because when you do it with people in groups like this, where you're more comfortable, it will become easier to do that on other platforms. It'll be easier to start doing Facebook Lives, which will help you with your Facebook parties. The other thing is that, guess what? Their opinion doesn't matter. If they don't like you, if they don't follow you because you're not their type of your people, there's somebody else that is, and they'll find you, and it'll all come together. So try to just step outside your comfort zone. The magic happens outside your comfort zone. And the more that you do that, the more you will grow personally and grow in your business.
I've been doing this for years. And I will say this, when it comes to anxiety and stuff, you guys, something to remember is if you can turn on the camera and instead of thinking, what are they thinking about me? Think to yourself, who can I help today? Who can I inspire today? Who can I encourage? Because if I turn my camera on and say, oh my God, I'm sweating. Every time I turn this camera on and talk to you guys, like I get anxiety, I get fearful, I get whatever, someone's going to go, oh, me too, for one. And for two, if you do it consistently, you'll start building a little Instagram community where people will start talking back to you, and you'll actually get this little bubble of people where the anxiety will start lowering, because you'll have your same people that you see their little face pop up and they're watching your stories, and that will build your confidence, but it won't if you just not do it. Like every time you take a step forward, like Callie just said, it's going to get easier and easier. And like it sounds harsh. Someone told me this one day, is like, what you provide in value is not about you. Think about what you can provide for someone else. And if that's just having courage for 10 seconds or 15 seconds while the Instagram story turns on, then you're doing your part to help someone else. And that really helps me every time, whether I'm entertaining someone or I'm a hot mess or I'm sharing something that I find. What can you provide someone else? And then it kind of takes the pressure off of what are they thinking about me? They're judging me. There's always that unfollow button. If they don't like it, they can just press it and bless and release.
Thank you guys. That helps a lot.
Of course.
Guys, thanks for popping on.
Yeah. Thanks for spending an hour with us.
Yeah.
You know, Jill's not going to hang up because she hates goodbyes, but if
Bye.
you guys want to hang up, you can hang up because Jill certainly isn't gonna.
Nope. I'm gonna be last one here.
Great night, you guys.
Bye, everyone. You can stop
Bye.
recording.
Get it on your camera, Sarah. Proud of you.